Hello, Tim here. Welcome to my channel. So Valentine's Day is coming soon, and I have a gift idea for you. If you have a lathe, and it's a very simple little box, and you could put jewelry in here, earrings or a ring or even a piece of candy. And the steps I took to turn this is two parts. I started first with a piece of maple. This is curly maple, and sometimes wood is not a really interesting piece of wood. It's very thin like that. So in order to turn this on the lathe, you don't want to drill screws into a piece of wood like this because you'll hit them. So you have a waste block of wood like this, and then glue on the waste block that you can screw into like this. Have a paper joint that will separate when you're done turning. Now, I did a video specifically on paper joints that I go into a little bit more how that works. So once that's on there, and then I screw down my face plate, then I go to the saw and cut it so it's kind of round, take the corners off. So let's go to the lathe and turn them out. Now I have it on the lathe, and I've rounded it up and just briefly sanded it. I'm gonna do a little bit of the outside work and then work on the inside. Starting out with my bowl gouge, roughing out gouge. And this part, pretty easy. And then go to the scraper to the inside. Here I'm checking the depth, making sure I don't go too deep. So it's probably 3/4 of an inch or so. Checking a little bit more with the combination square. Just make sure I don't go too deep. Now I'm doing a little shoulder cut on there and starting it out, not going too far. And that's where the top, once I get this sanded out, the top is going to have to be fitted separately. So now I take that off, and now I got the top. And the top species of wood is camphor wood. I couldn't remember for a second what it is. It's got a real aromatic smell to it. Almost too powerful. And there I'm kind of recessing. This is the inside, so I'm kind of doming it out here. There's a little mishap that happens after I get it fitted here. It ended up a little bit smaller than I intended. I'm taking the shoulder in a little bit more. It's a trial and error when you're fitting the pieces like that. That's why I like having the chuck, like that. You can just swap them back and forth, making sure now it fits. Now I finished the inside here. Now I pop it off the paper joint, clean that off. Inside is done. Put the soft jaw chuck in there. Now if you see it, it's quick here, but it flies off the lathe on me. There's a little nick in there in the turning. I had to make it just a little bit smaller, but sometimes things happen. Now I refitted the top and it's good. Finished the inside. And I step sanded. Finish at 320 before I put the shellac. And by the way, I use a soft jaw chuck on both sides, just sanding it up. This is really handy for this kind of thing. I do have to wipe the camera lens off a little bit because it does get stuck on there. Some of the finish. I really like this part of it here because it can really get a nice shine to it. Now I'm finishing up the base. All right, got her done. Now you notice this one's a little different than this one, and I had a little bump out here, which I like. I actually like the clean line on this one, so I changed it up a little bit. That's got the polish on it, and the polish I used, it's a friction finish that has shellac and linseed oil. And it doesn't take much, but I got a nice shine on this. This I might work on just a little bit more. It's a different kind of wood and it soaks in more than the maple does. But that's it. That's the finished piece. The bottom I'm going to burnish or burn in with my branding iron a little bit later, and then I'll top coat that. It's simple enough, and it does require that other soft jaw chuck, which I talk about in another video how that works. But those tools that I used and get this kind of result. So happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching, and please give it a thumbs up if you would, and please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.